Saturday night live stream. This one's going to be fun. We've got the Freakin Oracle in the house. So we're going to talk a little bit about Saitamask or Saitamask. I always want to call it Saitamask for some reason. We're going to talk a little bit about Saitamask. There's been a lot of stuff going on with that. Ken has been absolutely on all of the AMAs on that. So he's got all of the inside deets. And then after that, we're going to talk a little bit about crypto winter. Is it something we're heading towards? Is it really far off in the future? Is it just a bear's pipe dream? Those are the things that we'll talk about here today. And of course, as we're going to take care of any of your guys' questions, and we'll go from there. So
smash the like button too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Make sure you smash that like button and hit subscribe and all of that fun stuff. How are you doing today, Ken?
Pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, that coin I bought into ended up being a rug pull in the end.
That one that was eating the reflections?
Yeah, it wasn't a rug pull by the team itself. They were having problems with those reflections, right? The reflections were actually coming off of people's accounts instead of going back in.
Yeah.
So they reached out to somebody in China through LinkedIn to get some help. And this guy totally scammed the contract. And yeah, he did. He transferred coins from one wallet to another. Then he pulled it, and it was like 40 ETH. So it's good that it happened like right at the beginning.
Right. So yeah.
People aren't really fudding too much in the community about this because they've already come out and said, you know what, we're going to get proper coders for this because we believe in the project.
Now,
same thing happened to JC, the JC coin I had. I put $1,000 in it and it went to like $10. And now it's over $3,000 with the relaunch. So
right. Now, have you actually lost any of the, you said it was around 700 you put into this one?
Yeah. It's at about $15 right now. This is what it's worth.
Holy banana bread. That's pretty bad.
They're doing a relaunch, so I'm not worried about it.
So you figure you'll get your money back with the relaunch, hopefully?
Yeah, they have some big people coming in to work on the contract. I don't know if anybody's heard of Moonshot. He's one of them that's going to be helping out with the contract. So big faith.
Okay.
Big faith. So.
Who is Moonshot?
He's another YouTuber. He's another YouTuber that's in the crypto sphere.
Okay.
Big guy. Yeah, big name. So he's done some coding. He's part of like, I guess you could say the coding community for cryptocurrencies. Right. So yeah, he's going to be helping them out and everything. So it's good
that's
stuff.
Pretty cool. That's definitely cool.
No worry here. It's all good.
It's all good. Saitamask. What the heck has been going on with Saitamask? It seems like it's one problem after another.
Yeah, they've kind of pushed the mask out a little too quick, I think. But with stuff that they're seeing, they wouldn't have been able to see it without pushing it out. So I talked a little bit about it last night. Front running bots, they're trying to eliminate them because exchanges like SushiSwap and Uniswap, they don't care about losing a 4% because they make so much, they do say they do 1 million transactions a day.
Right.
Then 4% of that is actually getting stolen from them. So they don't care because they're making bank every day. But what the dev team at Saitama is looking at is how about we eliminate that 4% or even get it lower?
Right.
So this would be a game changer because this is something I never knew. I knew about bots and how they worked and everything, but I didn't know this whole front running bot thing. I had no idea about that you can potentially lose some of your tokens during a transfer. I had no idea about that.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
So if they can eliminate this, that'll be a milestone in the crypto community because like I said, Uniswap, they don't care. They don't care to fix it. They make enough money. They could care less, right?
Right. Have you ever heard of anybody else having the front loaders?
They all do. All the dexes have it. Front loading bots. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
And it's just a bot. It's just the way it's programmed. It goes in and it skims a little bit from you and sells it back to you at a higher price. And it's insane. But like I said, the other dexes, they make enough money they could care less about the 4%. The 4% doesn't
Yeah.
impact them, so they don't care.
Now,
But me as an investor, 4% of my coins, you
that's
know,
a lot.
when I hit swap and it says your estimated amount is, you know, this amount, and then you get the coins in your wallet and it's, you know, it's 4% less.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if that coin goes to the moon, that 4% could be thousands that you're losing in the end, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, absolutely.
this is another step that they're trying to take to protect their investors and make the investments that you make through Saitamask excellent ones.
Yeah.
So right now they have the exchange shut off on Saitamask. You can still install it and go in it and look at everything, but to send coins back and forth, you can't do that.
Okay.
If you do send coins, you'll still be able, they won't show up in Saitamask, but if you take a look in Etherscan, you'll see that your coins did move.
Okay.
So once it goes live again, then all that blockchain gets updated. So then the coins come in.
Well, interestingly enough, I've tried logging into Saitamask today, and it just won't let me get in. I enter my username password, and then it just gets stuck on loading data and just never leaves that.
And are you on the 10.1.1 version? I think it is.
I'd have to double check. I'm not sure exactly what version it is. Maybe I just need to update it. That might.
Yeah. Well, I know they were still having like a 10% issue. 10%
Mhm.
of people couldn't log in still. So, and they're
Yeah.
going to work on that as well. So
I'm in that 10%.
I'm not. There's people out there that are fudding Saitama. One person in particular, I've talked to him back and forth. Ponzi Slayer. He has all the dirt on the Saitama COO Russ and Russ's wife. So he's got all this dirt on them. But person myself, as being an investor, I don't care about the drama. That's drama. I don't care about that. What I care about is I care about the dev team and what they're trying to achieve. What they're trying to achieve far surpasses any kind of FUD on the COO. I could care less. Whatever. Him and his wife have had issues in their past. Maybe they're trying to come clean now. You know, people make mistakes, you know, but there's nothing like Russ can't do anything bad to the token because it's under the dev's control.
Right. Yeah.
And, you know, Russ is a stand-up guy. Like he's doing all these AMAs. He's being as transparent as possible, which you don't see in a lot of tokens. Now you're seeing it a lot. Everybody's like doxing and, you know, going on YouTube and doing interviews like this, you know. Then all of a sudden there's a rug pull and their Telegram is shut down. Their Twitter page doesn't exist anymore. Their Facebook's gone. You know.
That kind of sucks. Let's give a couple quick hellos to the folks in the house here, and then I have a question about actually Saitama. So we've got Ryan in the house who's on to a Udl, and we got Bleak. Hi there, Bleak. We got Jill. Hey. And we got Jason Spooner. Hey, all.
Spoon Man.
The Spoon Man, the Spooninator.
Spooninator. I will spoon your alphagettis.
He's spooning the chat. Ooh, okay. We'll leave that alone.
Better than spamming. Although he could be using a spoon to eat some spam, maybe.
Maybe.
Never know. Behind locked doors, right? Behind locked doors.
Exactly. Here's my question. I know that you've been in Saitama for a while. One of the mechanisms that I like with Saitama is where they take 2% of all transactions and then spread it out amongst the active users. How much are you seeing? Like, are you seeing a lot of money coming in that way?
Yeah, you could say so. It's not a lot of money because the value of the coin is down, right?
Right.
If they were still back up where they killed that top zero, then I'd be seeing a lot more. Like when it was up there, I was making a good $8 or $9 a day on reflections.
Wow, that's amazing.
So now I am probably making under $1 a day, but it all depends on the buys and sells, right? If the market's at a standstill and not too many people are buying and selling, well, your 2% is going to be less.
Keep in mind too, once everything goes back up, all those reflections will be back at 9, including all the stuff you've already got. So,
oh yeah, when they start doing that hyper burn they're talking about, oh, that's going to be insane. That's going to be buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, and you're getting 2%, 2%, 2%. You know,
when's that supposed to happen?
Crazy. Once it goes live again, they have the Dubai Crypto Expo in March, so they haven't given a definitive. They haven't given a definitive day as to when they're going to relaunch it properly.
Seems to me that would be a good thing to have it relaunched by.
That would be the date that I would put as the final to have it out. So, but they would need it out working, showing that it's working beforehand, right? So I think it's March 24th. I think.
Okay. Now,
so it should be out at least 2 or 3 weeks beforehand. So.
Now, what's the status on that Lily coin? Are they still in a holding pattern?
They're still waiting. Yeah, this is the only way Lily can get a fair launch, because if Lily went ahead and launched on Uniswap, you got the front running bots, which makes it not a fair launch. And they've tweeted that, and they've expressed their concern that no, we're behind Saitama 100%. When the wallet is fully functional, we will start by being listed on there. And then a couple months down the road or whatever, then they're going to go to low tier exchanges, then top tier exchanges, and then dexes and everything. But they're going to start there so that whoever wants to invest at a fair launch, because nobody's going to own any of the coins, that's the best way that they see that they can do it, is through the Saitamask.
Right. Yeah. It sounds like to me Saitamask is going to be very big in the future. I mean, I like the transparency that they have, and
once they get their ducks in a row, it's gonna be great. Like I said before, that this could easily take over Uniswap. And by them bringing this whole front-loading bot stuff to the surface, that is in a way a FUD on all other dexes that knew about this.
It may force the other dexes to clean up their act.
Well, exactly. I don't know what's all involved in killing the front-loading bots. Like, I assume they could do wallet watching and then blacklist wallets.
Just to sort of.
Who knows how many bots are out there? That could, you could still end up, right? So I'm just wondering if they're going to address this in the code of their exchange, or if they already have like a blacklisted list made of these wallets already, and they can inject it so that those wallets are refused any kind of trading. I'm not sure how it works, so, but it's interesting.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Quick hi to Patricia. Hi, Patricia.
Hey, Patricia.
Oh yeah, it's always good to have somebody in here. And I know you've told me this before, but for anybody in the audience who perhaps doesn't know yet, how did you get so knowledgeable on Saitama? What's been your learning curve when it comes to some of the crypto side?
To be honest, it's Twitter. Twitter. I follow certain people, and these certain people belong to other groups, and then they'll have like a live AMA voice chat, and it'll pop up on my phone. Like there's one going on right now. I was just listening to it before we went live.
Oh, okay. Well, who's that one for? Is that another Saitama?
That one's for the MMA combat coin that I just got.
The one that you got rug pulled on.
Yeah, the main guy is not the dev, but maybe he's the dev. I'm not sure, but he's talking about it. How, have faith in us. We're going to rewrite it. We're going to be using better people to rewrite it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, hopefully they get their act together and you end up gaining in the end on that one too.
Oh yeah, at least double my money and drop it like a hammer.
Yeah. Your money is good, definitely. All right, cool. So we were going to talk a little bit about crypto winter, unless you got some more on Saitama before I jump over there.
No, I got nothing about Saitama. We could talk about Mononoke though, if you want to.
Sure, let's
Shiro. The Shiro Inu. They hired a porn star to be one of their influencers. Yeah. Riley Reid.
Okay.
But
I wants to bear all.
Well, I think there's a purpose behind it, and that's because the porn industry, there's a lot of money there. There's a lot of money there, right? So if they can tap into it this way, get more funds, because they've got a developed game. It's going to be a trading game, like, whatever those games were with the cards,
Okay.
like a
So
Pokemon.
kind of like that.
Yeah. So it's going to be a kid kind of oriented game. But everybody's afraid that they're going to go look her up and go on her Twitter, and because her Twitter is graphic.
Oh yeah,
So
I heard whisperings of that. So
yeah, but I think they did it specifically to tap in. Yeah, it's a huge name.
yeah.
I think they specifically targeted her to get her on board to get some of that money that's in the adult industry. It's a business in the end, right? In the end, it's a business. You got to try and pull revenue from wherever you can.
Well, that's true, and that's the thing. Especially if the porn industry is mostly untapped, why not?
Yeah, why not?
It's their money is just as good as anybody else's. So
yeah, it's green in the U.S. and it's plastic here, right? So
oh yes. All right. Well, let's talk about crypto winter then. It seems to me, it's kind of funny. It seems to me every time the market goes down, people are like ready to say, "Oh, we're coming to crypto winter. It's coming. It's coming." It is coming, obviously, but what are your feelings on this right now? You think it's coming soon? Do you think it's coming?
I don't know. I think the market's in a bit of a lull right now. There's a lot of money still moving in the alts. So you got Bitcoin that's bouncing back up again. You got ETH that's back up again. So I don't know. See, I think it was the whole tax thing. I really do. I think it was time to pay the piper, so people sold off so they could pay the piper. And now they're going to be back in.
Well, that makes sense. That makes sense. I think there's also been a lot of uncertainty too about a lot of different things. So I think once the world becomes a little more predictable again, I think it's going to look.
Well, it's like this one guy I work with at work. He'll buy into Shiba, and then he'll be like, "Oh, I put $1,000 in Shiba." And then the next day he's like, "Oh, it dropped a little bit, so I pulled my money out." And it's just like, "Oh, you're gonna take a loss." And then like 2 days later, he's like, "Oh, I put that money back into Shiba." And then he's like, "Oh, it went up, yay!" And then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, it was low, so I pulled it back out." I'm just like, really? You'd be better off to go to the casino if you're gonna do that. Like.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I think a lot of investors are out there like that too. They're like, "Oh, look at all this stuff on Twitter, Lambos and everything." So they're like, "Oh, okay, well, I'll put $50,000 in," and all of a sudden it drops down to 45,000. They're like, "I lost $5,000. I better pull out."
Well, yeah.
A lot of that market could be doing that, right? So
There's a lot of people that seem to think that you're supposed to buy high and sell low. I'm not sure why they've come up with that idea, but
well, crypto isn't a charity, but some people think it is.
yeah, and that is true. And it's like I don't mind. I can sit patiently and wait for that money to eventually flow back to me instead of instead of their pockets or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting with crypto winter. I mean,
it's every 4 years, isn't it, or something?
Well, it's not entirely predictable, but basically, with a crypto winter, you need your prices to be depressed for approximately a year to be able to qualify it as a crypto winter.
Okay.
So that's just, at least that's the way it has been. But I think everything is evolving in crypto, and I think any of the rules that we've used in the past may not even apply anymore to the future. Like take the metaverse. I don't see the metaverse falling into, even if we went into a full-on bear market, I can still see money to be made in the metaverse.
Well, yeah, that's advancing technology right now.
Well,
so.
it is. It is, absolutely. So it's kind of interesting that we're seeing the beginnings of sort of fractures within crypto. So you're not like, you got the metaverse that's sort of moving on its own beat. There's an overall still movement sort of almost tied to Bitcoin. And of course, Bitcoin is tied, of course, to the markets because it's still all the same. It's still all the same psychology when you boil it down to the bottom.
Right.
But at the same time, I think we're heading to that time, and I don't know how quick it'll happen, where we're going to start to see things start to move a little bit more independently. And
Yeah, I think so. I think what's happening is it's money is just flowing through every avenue, but it's not a huge amount of money, so we're not seeing it like we were before, right?
oh, exactly.
So you'll have some people that'll sell their Bitcoin, they'll put it into metaverse tokens or other alts. They'll make a little bit, right? And then they'll reinvest it back into Bitcoin. So then Bitcoin's doing this all the time, right?
Well, that's true.
And that stops the bear market, right?
But I think one of the other things too that I think I had an interesting thought the other day is if we start to get some more institutional and retail investment into Bitcoin, a lot of those people are going to just be happy being in Bitcoin. When you take just, regular people, if they start saying, okay, well, maybe I should get into Bitcoin, they're not even going to be thinking about alts. So that might create some stability and sort of help pull the alt world apart from Bitcoin a little bit.
Right. But if they look at the alts, if they get into Bitcoin, right? Because that's how it happens, right? Everybody hears Bitcoin and ETH. That's where they start. That's their stepping stone. And then you hear about these alts where, there's some that are, a 10x, a 30x. And you're like, if I take that little bit I put into Bitcoin, put it in here, it goes up, I sell, I put it back into Bitcoin. Now I have even more Bitcoin.
Right. But those are going to be the more savvy investors, really.
Yeah.
You take, Joe Blow down the street. Somebody said, oh, you should just have some Bitcoin in your portfolio. He says, okay, yeah, sure. He throws Bitcoin in his portfolio. He's not paying attention to these other coins.
No, but that's how the retail investor is, though, right?
Mm.
They're always looking for the next dollar up.
Yeah, it's people who are more, like I say, the savvy people.
In tune. Yeah, in tune.
Like I know my mom has held Bitcoin now for more than a year, and she still doesn't even know what Ethereum is.
That's good because Ethereum's bad. If it wasn't for Ethereum, there wouldn't be as many rug pulls.
Yeah,
seriously.
that makes sense.
If you had to build, because the way it used to be is you would either fork a blockchain to copy their code, right? Because then you can get a copy of their code, or you built one from scratch. Now there's websites. You just go in and they'll just pop you out a code. Who knows if it's any good, if it's a good contract or not, right? So
yeah, well, exactly.
That's why I was actually, when I was talking to messaging Ponzi Slayer earlier, that's what I mentioned. I'm like, there was a lot less FUD way back when I first got into crypto. Like the biggest FUD that we had back then was the owner of Litecoin selling all of his tokens. He owned half the amount. That was the biggest FUD.
Oh, wow.
But he created the project. The project was successful. And just like any other entrepreneur that builds a business, you want to move on. And that's what he did. And look at Litecoin today. It's still flourishing. So,
oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. All right. Eric Mittens is in the house. Hey, Eric. And Mashuk wants our thoughts on Picoin and their Pi network.
I haven't looked into it. I mine my Pi every day, though. I do on my phone. I know there's some stuff with mainnet going on and whatnot. I haven't had any time to actually sit down and see what's going on.
Yeah, I know it's got its own network, of course, the Pi network. I know they're also set up in such a way that they have kind of a halving cycle, a lot like Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't really played a lot with Picoin.
Yeah, I think I've mined 1,100 Pi coins.
Oh, there you go. You're one step ahead of me on that one. But Picoin, you know what? I hear it mentioned enough that I really should pay more attention to it.
Well, I was trying to run a node on one of my computers for them. But you had to wait for the KYC process to go through. And I did it, and I was waiting, and it never happened. So I was just like, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And Eric says, free market, gonna free market. Do your due diligence, folks.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, you should do your due diligence on absolutely everything. Oh, and Redbeard's jumping in on the Pi. Let's take a look here. I mine Pi just shy of 3,000 coins for me.
Okay. I got to grab my phone and have a look.
Okay. Off to phone land he goes. That's kind of cool. Now, what is Pi worth right now, Ken?
I have no idea. I didn't even know you could withdraw it from your phone yet. So I have no idea. See, that's what I mean. I have no idea. I just know that I was mining it a while ago, and
it's just sort of sitting there.
I have 1,913 pi.
Okay. And it's taking so long. Do you think Pi will actually list?
I don't know. I don't even know what they're about anymore. I just put it on my phone and just kept doing it. I thought, you know what? This is costing me nothing. I just have to tap it once a day.
Yeah.
If it turns into a couple of bucks, it turns into a couple of bucks. If not, I'm not out anything. So.
And Red Bear's kind of reiterating that I don't think it's worth anything quite yet. But like I said, if it's costing, or like Ken said, if it's costing you nothing, it doesn't hurt to sort of accumulate it. Yeah. Been in a year over 1,000. No actual cash value as of yet. Okay. So I guess if it hasn't been listed, that's why. But you know what? Here's the thing. If you accumulate all of this Pi coin and then one day they do list, you'll be smiling.
Exactly. Hey, it's just like Bitcoin. Mm-hmm. You never know.
You never know. That's for sure. And kind of like the whole crypto winter thing, even though that's our main topic. I mean, more or less the topic is it's not here. It's probably not coming anytime soon.
I don't think so.
Especially, and and Ryan beats the drum too of the midterm elections in the U.S. I think I kind of agree with him on that. That you're going to see the U.S. try to do anything they can to maintain the economy to the best of their ability before these midterms, because there is a lot on the line when it comes to the House down in the U.S. Don't want to get too deep into politics, but it's one of those things. And Eric puts in, I've gotten in more into yield-bearing crypto projects as of late, as opposed to HODL coins. Now, there's nothing wrong with yield. I like getting stuff, and you got to believe. Psychologically, I prefer it. I get to see my yields instead of just hoping coins go up. Oh, absolutely.
Very true. Well, most of my coins have reflections, so it's the same idea. That's the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I've got things staked, so I like to see this. I like to see those coins coming back in. So to me, that's it's a bit of a payday. It's almost like you're seeing something opposed to a potential something,
right?
Which is kind of good, which I kind of like.
It gives you a sense of hope. It gives you the fuzzy feeling in your head, right? Like, ooh, I'm earning something, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, absolutely. So that's kind of good. So what do you think is going to go on? What's going on with Bitcoin? Do you think it's going to go higher? What's your feeling? What's your gut telling you on this? Because
that's a good question, because I really don't follow Bitcoin. I don't know. It's just it's worth what it is, what people believe it is. I think if we get more institutional money in, though, obviously it's going to go up. Yeah, it's hard to say. It doesn't do much of anything. Even with the Lightning Network, people aren't taking advantage of that, which is kind of really weird, because that was one of the things they were saying. Oh, slow blockchain, anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and a half for a transfer to go through. And then they came out with the Lightning Network. Nobody's using it,
Now, one of the interesting things with Taproot is we're looking at adding smart contracts to Bitcoin.
Right.
Do you think that's a game changer? Or
that could be if some good projects use it. It's like the horse, leading the horse to water. You're leading them to Bitcoin that's got the Lightning Network, which is really fast, can handle lots of transactions. Let's throw smart contracts in there as well, so now you can build on it. But it's up to the people, right?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, one of the thoughts I had is that when you take sort of the cross-chain ability of like Polkadot, you could get to a situation where you could pretty much use whichever is the fastest crypto just for the transactions and be converting it back and forth between all kinds of different, because of the way everything could interconnect. So it could turn out to be very interesting if it ends up being used as that way. It's just more of a medium than well, than a store of value. It'd still be worth a lot.
Yeah, but if you could use it as a highway for cheaper rates, and speed, nothing wrong with
I
that.
don't know about you, but I use it for transferring most of my stuff just because of how cheap it is to do it.
Yeah. Well, I was using Litecoin, and then I was using XRP. XRP's dirt cheap for transfers. I was using that to go in between exchanges before. So, but now, living in Ontario, we don't have to worry about it. There's not too many exchanges that'll take us. So
I know. I know. We're running out.
I signed up at Kraken just to send them some ETH. Send them some ETH so I could buy some XRP to send to them.
And I like my Kraken. Have you heard anything else about Kraken at all? With
I heard they were served notice and they ignored it. That's what I'm hearing. So
interesting. I know that they won't. I think there's a few things they won't let you do. They won't let you stake ETH, which is interesting. There's a few different things if you're in Canada or parts of Ontario that they have said you can't do, but hopefully this might be something anybody who is on Kraken, you may want to pay attention, because you don't want to have a situation where they decide just not to do anything and they wait and don't give their customers notices. That would be a bad thing, obviously.
I don't think they would do that. I think they do like Binance.
Yeah, I honestly don't think they would. I mean, I've got my Polkadot there, but we could have that moved into a hardware wallet and let it just sit out there. The only issue with that is then if I ever want to cash it in, where would I cash it in at? I'd have to find a new exchange that has, well, actually, you know what? I could just send it to Wealthsimple once they open up that, because they do have Polkadot on their thing.
There you go.
But that would only be for cashing out, because you can't stake on Wealthsimple yet. Hopefully Wealthsimple changes that. I'd really love to be able to stake there.
What about BitBuy? Is there do they have it on BitBuy?
I don't know. I've never really used BitBuy.
I heard an advertisement. They're advertising BitBuy on the radio station in London here.
Yeah.
Well, and I meant to have a look.
Let me take a quick gander here. There's one of them that I think I have an account with it. Maybe
they got Polkadot, buy and sell. They got Polkadot, Uniswap, SushiSwap, Polygon, Solano, Cardano, Doge.
I do. I do have an account with BitBuy. I think
EOS.
when I first started buying crypto, I actually went through BitBuy very briefly, and then I discovered ShakePay. And, all the free stuff from ShakePay won me over pretty quickly.
Yeah. No, BitBuy does look like a good alternative to cash out other alts that you may have if they carry them.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a really good idea. And, I mean, where BitBuy is Canadian, I should take a look and see if I can stake. Because, I mean, if I can stake on a Canadian server, I'd rather hold it in Canada.
Right.
Just for that reason. And I think BitBuy is the one that Kevin O'Leary's company was interested in or purchased, or
yeah, I can't remember.
the Wonder5 people.
Yeah.
So that is kind of interesting.
New account offer. Sign up and get your account verified before February 17th to be entered to win 1 ETH. Terms and conditions apply. Interesting.
Let's see. I thought they were being regulated late. Binance in Ontario. Oh, here we go. Eric's mentioning that Newton accepts DOT.
I keep forgetting about Newton.
No staking, though, of course. And that's the whole thing. I would really love to have one of these mega exchanges in Canada that just had a bit of absolutely everything. But yeah. I think it would be a regulation nightmare, at least at this point. Maybe if we got to a point where instead of the provinces all doing their independent regulation, if we actually went with one regulation body, sort of like the US has the SEC, that would be kind of an interesting concept. I think in Canada, it might make things a lot easier. At least
it would make it easier and cleaner. A lot easier.
On the bright side, I mean, there's a lot of standardization between the regulatory boards, because they will often appoint different things, different regulation committees to sort of run over a whole bunch of stuff. But Quebec is usually the odd man out of that one. They tend to just be like, nope, no, we're going to do it our way.
Well, Quebec's their own country, right? Or at least they think they are.
Society. So I don't know if I would actually call them their own country, but
Well, they like to think they are.
well, yeah. No, that's a kind of interesting thing. I think, and that's once again going into politics, but I gotta say, I do like Quebec. At least some of Quebec, like Montreal, is a pretty cool city.
Yeah.
And they've got some really cool food there. So I certainly can't complain about that too much. I went there once around Christmas time, and it's like they had beggars, not beggars, but you know how you got busker type people playing their music, and they had like this. There was this one family that was there, and they all had like there was a cello and everything, busking in the subway, and I was like, wow, that's like classy. You know, Nova Scotia, it's basically a drunk who comes up going, I'm not gonna buy the beer, I just need money.
Yeah.
Where in a way, if a drunk actually came up and said, look, I'm a drunk, I'm gonna buy alcohol with it, you know it, I know it, I just want to be truthful. I know I'm cheap, but if I weren't cheap, I would be inclined. And Patricia says, I can attest Quebec wants to do their thing. And Patricia lives in Montreal. Montreal is cool. I almost lived in Montreal for a month. I was living in Vancouver, and we had a call center. I had to go and train some people there, and they basically they put me up in a hotel for a month in Montreal.
Nice.
And beautiful thing is, all my food was I just expense reported everything.
Right.
So I miss my expense report. That was a good thing. But no, it was pretty darn cool. You know, got to explore a lot of Montreal. And one of the things that always used to amaze me is I would go into a store. People would be talking in French. And before I even had a chance to say boo, they would know I was English right away. And I just like, how do they know I'm English? I haven't even spoken.
Because they're talking about you and you're not responding.
Maybe. I don't know. It's just one of those things. I always found that really kind of funny.
Right.
But yeah, New Montreal, definitely a cool city for sure. And Chris says, love Coinbase, keeps adding coins and tokens. Just wish they'd up their staking coins to more than 4 or 5. Downtown Ottawa is where it's at now. Okay, yeah, it's I can jump on a bus and be in downtown Ottawa in about 20 minutes. So
I can jump in my car and be there in about 8.5 hours.
Okay. You might beat me there. You might beat me. Eric Mittens, Candace wants a better class of bum.
Hell yeah, there's gonna be bums with class out there. Hell yeah. Gigolos. Gigolos are bums with classes.
Oh, exactly. I'm just like, I come from this fantasy world where everybody has the option to be polite. You know, in my world, if you get like mugged, they'll say please and thank you as you're handing over your cash. But I probably live in a fantasy world. Montreal is cool for sure. And we switched fast to English, particularly in downtown Montreal. And that's where it was. It was downtown Montreal.
Yeah.
And we just know. It's like they have an Anglophone radar.
I was in Montreal. I was in Quebec once.
Mm-hmm.
We went over the border somewhere. There was like a truck pull. It was a big festival, and they had like big rigs, and they were pulling stuff and whatnot. It was pretty cool. I was very intoxicated while I was there. It was a good time.
Yeah. No, it's one of those things it's on my bucket list is to learn French. But here's the funny thing with French. I took it in school, And I thought I had a good grasp on French. I really did. And then the first time I moved to Ottawa, I discovered I was sadly mistaken because I ran into my first Quebecois, and it's like what are they talking? That's nothing like what I've learned.
Yeah, I think the French we learn is over in France, isn't it?
It is, and I didn't realize that until one day I was walking in down the street in Ottawa, and this guy comes up to me and starts speaking in French, but I could understand him. And so we actually held a small conversation, and it turned out he was a tourist from France, and he couldn't understand anybody's the French he was hearing from people speaking Quebecois. And I was like, at that point, it just dawned on me, oh my God. It's like, why in school would they teach us, French, like real French?
That's not our native, French.
France.
Yeah.
They should be teaching us, Quebecois French, but they're not. So I always found that kind of odd.
Yeah, my wife, she can speak French, and part of her job, they had a listing for a French person to get the odd call in French, and that was the problem she was having.
Mm-hmm.
She's fluent in, Paris, France, French, but she's not fluent in, Quebecois French.
Mm-hmm.
So she ended up, it was like she got an extra 50 cents an hour or something, and she was like, yeah, I can't do this. I cannot understand what they're saying.
Oh,
so they took that privilege away from her, but they left the pay there, so that was kind of nice.
Oh, well, that's good. That's always good. When
she was only getting about 4 calls a night, though. So,
interesting. Well, it's funny, when I tried to learn Quebecois French, and I thought of this brilliant idea. I was like, okay, I'm just going to turn my radio onto CBC French, and I'll listen to it as I sleep, and then maybe I'll absorb some French overnight. That ended horribly because all of a sudden my dreams were in French and I couldn't understand them. Yeah, it was just let's stop that.
Nice.
And She-Rab is here. Hey y'all. And once again, Patricia. The way French is spoken in Quebec is tad different from the French of France.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Whoops, I over jumped. Thoughts on Tomb Finance and its various forks? Tomb Finance. I've not heard of Tomb Finance.
I've heard of Tomb Finance, but I don't know much about it. Sorry. I've heard of that. I heard of that when I was learning about Wonderland Finance, and it ended up being like a huge fiasco, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
I almost invested, but I didn't.
What we should do the next time you're going to be on the show, Ken, is we should just give people a chance over on the Facebook group to say, here are some coins we would like to ask questions about that night, so that we can at least look.
Yeah, that we can research them. Yeah.
And that way they bring some.
That was the problem I had last night on the live stream. The one guy wanted to know, like, he wanted me to predict what coin was going to go up the most in the next 6 months, and it's like, that's impossible. But if you're going to put me on the spot, I'm going to say Saitamask because of what they're trying to do.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I don't know.
Absolutely. And Patricia says, my parents are from the West Indies, and it was a cultural shock for them because they spoke the French of France. I can believe it. Yeah, it's sort of like that tourist who I was talking to. It was, it's culturally a shock for him as well. All right, now, Jill, we were almost to her and then had to jump back. What type of research do you do when looking at deciding on a coin to invest in? All right. This sounds like a question for the Freakin Oracle.
What research do I do? Well, first of all, if I hear about a coin, say I'm watching an AMA and reading the comments and somebody mentions a coin, first thing I'll do is I'll go and I'll look at the chart. I'll see what the coin's been doing when it was released. Depending on what the coin's doing, then I may pursue my research. Mm-hmm. If the coin's doing crap, then I'll just forget it. But say the coin's doing good. So then what I'll do is I'll go to their website. I will download the white paper, go through the white paper, have a look at their website as well. They normally list all their links there for Discord, Twitter, Telegraph or Telegram, whatever the hell it's called. I'll go and have a look in them to see what the community is saying about those tokens, what's going on, and if their roadmap is matching up with where they're at this time and at this time frame. And then I'll go from there. I'll watch the coin, see what it's going to be doing, because there's been plenty of times where I bought a coin and then all of a sudden it falls, and it's just like, really? I just got in. I think it happens to most people. As soon as you buy, the coin drops, right? So, but that's basically what I would do. See what the community's doing, have a look at the white paper. Are their expectations too high in the white paper? What they want to achieve, is it achievable, and is it achievable in a specific time frame? If they plan on building a rocket ship to go to Mars, yeah, get the hell out. I'm not going to invest in that. But if they're looking to build some kind of technology to help with navigation on vehicles or something like that, then yeah, okay, that makes sense. That is achievable. That's doable. All right. I could get behind that project. It's like Saitama, Shiba. Shiba is a good one. I got behind Shiba because they were going to come out with their own swap. And I seen what these swaps were doing, right? They had bakery swap at the time. A bake token was like almost $10. You look at Uniswap, their token. You look at this swap, their token. So I was like, okay, Shiba swap. All right, this is good. Those tokens, a token could be worth a couple of bucks, right? However, they didn't implement any kind of burns from the beginning or anything like that. So, but at the time, it was a good project to get into, and I got out of the project when it was at a good time. So
that makes sense. Another thing too is, anytime I hear a coin and it sounds like they're trying to capitalize on something like, I don't know, maybe Squid Game, that will send alarm bells off for me right away. Because if you have a good product, I don't think you need to steal a name of something popular to try to entice people in. Your product, your white paper, what that coin's going to do should be enticement enough.
Yeah, it's like the coin that I got into yesterday, that MMA combat coin that had that big fiasco happen behind it. What they were looking to do is they were looking to help out fighters, is really what it was. Because, being a boxer and MMA and all this, there's no retirement package. You're paid $2,000 to $5,000 per fight if you're lucky. And that's that. It's up to you to manage your money afterwards, right? So part of their thing was awareness for boxers and MMA fighters for their retirement, right?
I also imagine a lot of them boxers end up with a little bit of brain damage too by the end of their careers. That's a lot of hits.
Yeah. So I believed in that. That's something that is important. It's a sport that I do enjoy watching. The lucky guy in MMA or boxing gets endorsements, like George Foreman and that stupid grill thing.
What is it? The mean, lean, fat reducing grilling machine.
Yeah. So, okay, he gets residual payments on that kind of stuff, right? And then, Shaq, and he's doing Icy Hot or some stupid thing now I seen the other day. So, but other than that kind of stuff, if you're not a mainstream boxer that's gotten into that stuff, you have no retirement.
Yeah.
So part of this was, they're able to invest into it, get, reflections, live off the reflections, part of the retirement. I bought into it. It's a good idea, and it still is a good idea. The devs are still behind it. It's just they got to relaunch the token and do it properly. So I'm thinking what it was is it was a good idea that they had. They wanted to rush it out before somebody else decided to take that idea. And unfortunately, this is what happens when you rush. They were in a pinch. They didn't know how to fix the reflection thing. So they reached out to another programmer on LinkedIn, and he mucked it all up and stole the money. So.
And here's Eric giving us some more information. So Tomb is a popular yield farm on the FTM network.
Nice.
Yeah. And some of those farms, you can get some half decent yields, but I've always not liked the fact that, they're going to just keep going down as more and more people discover them. So a lot of them are pretty short term. First thing, crack a cold one. MMA coin. That reminds me of when Rory McDonald got his Bellator winnings in Dash coin.
Nice.
Yeah,
Dash coin used to be cool.
yeah, I don't know who that is, who Rory McDonald is. I'm assuming he's an MMA fighter.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, okay, that makes sense. Question: you mentioned, I think the last time you were on, you were mentioning that you were going to start to look to get yourself back into some stocks. Has that happened, or is that still kind of off?
No, because the whole Lily thing didn't happen yet. So
Oh, so this is going to be after Lily
this is going to be a play off of any
profits.
profits from that. Yeah. So that's on hold now.
Okay. Well, it'll be good to get you back in, make you more versatile trader.
Yeah. Well, I should have bought oil years ago when they were paying you to buy stocks in it.
I gotta say, I hold.
I knew oil was going to go back up. I knew it. I mentioned to my father-in-law. I was like, dude, take 10 grand and just invest it right now. You'll be surprised. I'm like, oil's not going anywhere. We got to use it for everything in this world. No, I'm not going to invest in that. I'm just like, dude, they're paying you to take it. I'm like, invest. He's like, no. And now it's at like, what, $90 a barrel.
It's like, yeah. And that's the whole thing. I mean, the whole energy industry, I think the whole energy industry is just going to have an amazing year in 2022, to the point that, and this has kind of pushed me towards the ETFs. It's like, well, which company should I hedge on? It's like, well, why hedge on any of them? Let's just go through the ETFs. And I know, not financial advice, but that XEG ETF, holy cow, that thing has just been amazing. Even when the markets was down last week, it was green most of the time. I was just like, it's just an amazing little ETF that in 2021, it had, I think it was close to 80% on the return on investment on it. So good little ETF, and it's not showing any sign of not repeating that so far this year. So I'm feeling pretty good about that one.
Nice.
Which is kind of good. The Oracle will just be buying BTC and ETH spot ETFs anyway.
Exactly.
Diversification. Yeah, that's
but
it.
It's stocks, right? So it's good.
Or you can get in on that one that has the dividend.
Oh, the dividend, yeah.
Dividend. I would totally get in on that if it was a regular dividend, because it sounded like from the interview that Ryan had done with the guy there that they just were doing it as a one-time for now. And to me, that's not how dividends work. you want something regular.
Well, that's why it's a dividend.
Yeah, I don't even want to say dividend.
Dividend.
It just leaves a sour taste in my mouth that it's one time. Even if it's a good one, it's just like, come on, let's give me something that's I can rely on that will make me want to invest. Because if you're giving me a one-time dividend, maybe I'll invest and grab that one-time dividend, but then I'm gone.
Right.
That's, because I can get dividends elsewhere. And there's a lot of insanely good dividends out there if you're paying attention. So you can get some really good yields. But that, and we got Eric. Eric is giving a whole. Now, when he says no like that, I always hear it in my head in Darth Vader's voice. That whole no that George Lucas added to Return of the Jedi. You need to check out Purpose Investments, BTCY and ETHY ETFs. Okay, now are these one here? Let me ask you this, Eric. I think he's kind of put this into
a few.
So they write covered calls on their spot BTF and ETH ETFs for monthly distributions. You know what? Because this is the funny thing. I had heard about these and I was thinking to myself, okay, I need to make a video on these. I need to look into it. And then along came Ryan, and I thought he beat me to the punch with this guy and his dividend thing, but it's a completely different thing. Right. And I got derailed from this one here. Thank you, Eric. Yeah, these here, I have got to make a video on this for people. Because I think anything with a huge yield, I certainly like. And
everybody benefits from it, right? So,
well, that's the thing. If you have a good management team that know how to do covered calls, it doesn't matter if the market's going up or if the market's going down. If they know their stuff, they're making money, and then you're making money. Sort of like BMO has a whole bunch of have a few different covered call ETFs, and their management people I think are really good. Like ZWC, for example. I've never had any issues with them kind of, getting messed up with the whole covered call aspect of it. So I kind of like that. I actually wouldn't mind doing some covered calls myself down the road. And of course I will film it so I can make videos on it. It's like, are you making covered calls to make money or just because you want to someday make money with a video? So that's kind of fun. And Chris agrees with Eric. They are great. And that's what I was getting. I can't believe I missed out. Not missed out, but I would have already had a video out by now if I hadn't got them mixed up with that one here. Oh, and we got Nate in the house.
Hey, Nate, buddy, what's going on?
Everybody who's here, this guy here is the reason I'm making shorts, because he started making shorts and all of a sudden we were in a nice close race with our number of viewers. And Nate started making shorts and he started distancing me. And I'm like, banana bread. So then I had to make shorts. So now we're both just short making machines. A lot of shorts out there.
Short making machines. That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah. So that's kind of cool. Now, Nate, I don't have a date confirmation yet, but I'm going to have Nate back hopefully towards the end of February or very, very early March, because he has 8 shorts lined up. Holy banana bread, Nate. He's like the short nigger.
But he's short, though. He's got 10 kids. He needs to have 10 shorts. 1 pair for each.
There we go. He's probably got his kids making short. Okay, here's how you clip it out of the video. You just do it, and I'll come and I'll upload it later. Your allowance for if I get this many hits on this short because you did a good job, I'm going to give you a bonus extra 50 cents on your allowance. So, but anyway, what I was saying about Nate, we're going to be doing a tax live stream as we get closer to the tax season. And I can't think of anybody more perfect than Nate to join me on that one. Nate knows a lot about taxes.
I still want him to make that video of going to the butcher and getting the cow. I'm very interested.
Okay. Well, here's an interesting thing. I don't know if this was inspired, but it probably was. So Joe reached out to a local butcher who offers like their own kind of box. It's like out here in Ottawa, it's like called I think Fork to Plate or something like that. It's kind of an interesting name, but
is it like Butcher Block?
It's like that, but you don't have to subscribe. You can just order a box.
Okay.
So she ordered a box. It was $369, but no word of a lie. When you count all the meat you got and you break it down by meals, it provides enough meals that basically every meat portion of our meals is like $3. And we're not talking crap meat like you get at the grocery store. This is high quality grass-fed beef. It's just really, really good. I mean, I even looked at the fillets, and we got this one box of fillets. I think the whole box was I can't remember if it was $100 for that box. No, it wasn't $100. I don't know how many it was. It was 10 pounds, but it was an insane amount of fish.
Damn.
But yeah, we worked it out and worked out to $3 per portion. And that is absolutely amazing. So we won't have to worry, like if the supply chain stuff comes up here and the shelves are empty over at the Walmart and the Loblaws, we're good. We've got all of the meat we need.
Yeah, see, we did it through NutriFarm, and it was supposed to be 10 months worth of meat. And you got to pick some groceries out of it too. And it worked out to be $13 a pound, roughly, is what I worked it out to be.
Wow. Yeah. Well, it depends on, obviously the one that we have, he's a local guy. He only does, pretty much the Ottawa and surrounding areas.
Right.
So that's the thing, is don't reach for one of the big chains like Butcher Block, or butcher box, just talk to some of your local butchers. They,
Yeah.
if they don't have it, they might know the guy who's doing it.
Well, see, this ground beef we were getting, it had like fish oil added to it. It was really good beef, really good beef.
That
But
would
I couldn't justify the price again because it was like $4,000 for 10 months worth.
Oh my God, that would be so good.
Like
I mean,
it's a big freezer full of meat. It was insane.
Chris wants some shortbread.
Yeah, I could use some shortbread, buddy.
And that's in regards, I think, to the meat box. Hey, Ken, we are running out of beef soon. I'll be doing something in the next month or so. Awesome.
Can't wait.
Oh,
I
Chris knows
definitely want
Farm
to
to
see it.
Fork. I think that's it. I think that's the name. Jill, if you're still watching, just confirm. I'm not sure if she's still watching or if she's pitter-pattering around somewhere. But yeah, I think Farm to Fork sounds like the right name. So yeah, amazing service. If you guys have access to Farm to Fork, then take a look. You can save a lot of money. I mean, you pay a lot for the box, but what you're getting into it, and the fact that you're not going to have to buy groceries for a very long time, you will save money. And I want to talk about Chris's next one, but we'll just quickly jump over Nate. We may buy from a Mennonite family as well. That could be fun. Absolutely. When you go in to buy from the Mennonite family, check your technology at the door so that they feel comfortable. Or I don't know. Are Mennonites are they like the Amish in that they don't have the technology stuff going on?
No, I think the Mennonites are in between Amish and us. They
Okay,
accept
so
some
maybe.
technology such as vehicles.
Okay, so in other words, don't bring anything that was invented after 1980.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. But then again, it's hard to say. Interesting, before we get to the next couple of questions, we got some really good questions, I think, coming up. I'll just quickly hit Chris here. Candace, if you're near Ottawa, there are tons of local farmers to buy off of. Absolutely. And we're in Ottawa, so, but, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So I took the Greyhound once from Ottawa to Montgomery, Alabama. And we're going through this community, and there were Amish people that like their buggy was out there, the horse and buggy, and they got out and then they actually got on the bus, and I was like, huh, I didn't think the Amish could ride a bus, but they can. They can take the buses. And when they got to their destination a few stops away, there was a horse and buggy waiting for them there.
Well, I think they realize certain technologies have I can't think of the words I was going to say. They can advance certain things with certain technologies, and other technologies is a waste of time, such as TV.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I mean, I do like a few TV shows. Like I like my superhero shows, but
like if you stuck a TV in front of an Amish person and they're watching like
the
shopping network, they're like, "What is Visa?
Yeah.
What is MasterCard? American Express? I'm Canadian. I do not understand this."
Yeah, but at the same time, they probably have those family bonds that most of us would be jealous of.
That's true.
So,
That's true.
there's always pluses. I just got the notification on my phone of your most short. My most recent short, I think. There we go. Most recent short. Yeah, absolutely. So those shorts are just they're just coming along. And it's actually interesting. I found a theme for it. So at first I'm like, well, what am I going to do with these shorts? I know Nate just sort of clips some parts out of his videos because a few of them I'm like, are you seeing I seen that video that one came out of? But I want to just do something. I just thought I wanted a theme to them. So my theme is Now You Know. So it's like, I'll just give a short. There'll be some piece of information in it. And that's the Now You Know moment.
Now you know.
So, and over on my keto channel, I call it keto moment. So I'm doing the shorts over there too. Over there, actually, I had one short yesterday. Amazing. Out of the blue, just bang, 990 some odd hits. I'm like, what?
Damn.
And it was just a short explaining what glycogen is.
I got to start doing shorts soon.
Absolutely. Hey, everybody, this is Scott over at Create, Save, and Invest. One of my favorite little pet channels that I love watching. Check him out on YouTube. He does more of it's all stocks, basically sharing his portfolio and his buys. But You know, he's got a nice, good presentation, and I find him relaxing to watch, which is cool. So give him a check out, and if you like his stuff, give him a follow. He's a pretty good guy. Talk to the Mennonites about crypto investing. Oh dear, that could actually be funny. Okay, no, these ones have cell phones. The Mennonites have cell phones, and you see, and this is just
yeah, but that's a technology tool that they can use, right? See what I mean?
good.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's probably a lot of technology that's pretty well useless out there, but we text them our order. Okay, that's awesome. Erica, I've talked to them about it actually. I forget what that conversation was
Oh,
about.
probably about technology use, probably.
Oh, Mennonites need their own coin. That'd be kind of cool. Why not? So yeah, I'm basically a crypto evangelist. I could see him on the pulpit. And he's standing there Sunday morning, and it's like, have you guys heard about Bitcoin? You know, people didn't like Jesus at first, too. Oh, dear. I am seriously.
Hey, smash that like button, everybody.
I'm seriously going to get in trouble with all of the holy folk. That's okay. Yes, they have an amazing community. So, and this is the thing. I love communities that I have no clue. Like if I go into a brand new community and I got no idea of their culture, I got no idea about anything, then I'm going to learn a whole ton of stuff. So I've always found that really fascinating. The same thing with people. It's like, I know we're sort of in a time where there's a lot of divisions between people. And it's like, oh, well, you don't think like me. I can't be around you. I'm the type that's like, oh, you don't think like me. Awesome. You're going to be my best friend for a little bit because I want to learn about you and I want to learn how you think. So that's kind of to me, that's just kind of the way I roll.
Right.
Eric, same. I've gotten 4 more coworkers MetaMask wallets in the past week. Oh, so Eric is also a crypto evangelist with the good old MetaMask.
I hope you didn't lie to them and told them gas fees are cheap. Unless they're using like the Binance Smart Chain or the
it's like, all right, congregation, we're going to pass around the plate. Put lots of money in it. I got gas fees to pay. And Nate says the Menno coin.
Menno coin, yeah.
Okay, I can see that being an interesting name. Menno coin. Amish coin. All right, and there's Jill confirming that it's farm to fork. So yeah, it was 30 fillers with wild caught haddock. Yeah, that was good. AMSH, I like that.
There we go.
Yeah, Candace, if it hits the shelf, it will pop up. Yep, that makes sense. The only thing that sucks is if it is on the shelf, it doesn't count towards watch time. Well, yes and no. If somebody watches it from a desktop computer, then it will count. At least that's what the people over at vidIQ have told me. But keep in mind, probably 75% of people watching your stuff are watching it on something alternative to a desktop. So you're probably just getting a little bit. But the more idea of the shorts is that it gives people a chance to sort of peruse your channel very quickly and see if they like your style. And, you know, it's a good way to sort of pull some people in. I think Nate's learned that. He's doing fantastic. I told Nate this when I was getting close. I was like, Nate, get some more followers because I want this to be a real challenge. I don't want to just pass you. I want to earn a pass if or when I get there.
Yeah, now you got to earn it. Good job, Candace.
Not let me down. He has not let me down. It'll be funny, you know. Me and Nate will be chasing each other, and eventually we'll pass the Danters, and then we'll pass High Rye, and as we're both just trying to, Nate keeps on going, and I'm just a few behind. It's like, wait for me, Nate. And he's like, no, I'm not. So it'd be kind of cool. Oh, and Scott says thanks. They would be good yield farmers. Ah, that's not a
That is
bad thing.
true. Yeah.
Ah. I follow Create Save Invest already. I wonder if I am subscribed. If you're not subscribed, Nate, get over there and subscribe to my buddy Scott. And Eric Mittens. Har, har, har.
And a
And so I think Nate stepped away from the computer and one of his sheep found the laptop. Just smash the like button for Jesus. Oh dear. Oh dear. It's funny when Nate says it, but if I said that, it would be blasphemous, I'm sure. Oh my. Yeah, I love being around those that don't think like me. Absolutely. And that's the truth. I mean, if you meet somebody who's exactly like you, you're not going to learn anything. You meet somebody different than you, you're going to learn a whole bunch of stuff. And that's how I think people get better. It's a merging of ideas because, I know when I come into a situation and I have a certain idea on how something should go, I know my idea is not 100% right. But when I, let's say if me and Ken were going to work on a project, Ken will be like, Candace, you're really smart. You can see the big picture, but you're missing this detail here. And I'll be like, okay, Ken, tell me the detail. And then I'll be like, holy banana bread, you're right. And that's one of those ways that ideas and things get exchanged. And, at the end of it, both myself and Ken should be walking away better than we were coming into it.
Right.
And to me, that's fantastic. That's just the way the way I roll. Binance Smart Chain for life. ETH is the devil.
ETH is the devil. The devil's playground. It's the devil's tool, that ETH.
Shorts always seem to pop more after a few days. And that's true. Like that glycogen one, I'd released it, I think 3 days before it just blew up in one moment. And I was just like, I don't know, maybe it was like a whole book club and they were like, what's glycogen? Let's all hit YouTube and see who can find it first. It was a really big book club, I guess. But that's kind of interesting. Yeah, Create, Save, Invest. Any of mine pop like 3 days later. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of cool. So now I know the ones I dropped today, they should pop in 3 days. It's, oh my God, it's like Jesus coming back to life, right? 3 days later.
Oh.
Dear.
Oh, dear God. I unleashed some beast last night on my live stream, did I not? Oh my God.
Oh dear. You'll have to show up at his live stream after this one at 10 o'clock tonight if you want to see what that's all about. We are not a monolith. At least that's what I like. Although I can get frustrated that they think different, but it's still good. Absolutely. And
well, yeah, as long as they can understand what you're talking about, then.
And keep in mind, too, sometimes it's not even about that they think different. It's about figuring out why they think different.
True.
Because once you understand the why, that's an incredible tool to help you create a common bridge. See, this show, we're making bridges. Yeah.
Your bridge is kind of uneven. They're supposed to be like this.
See, and I've already learned something from Ken already. All right, like this.
Well, you see this here? This would be a bad road bump.
Oh yeah, because you imagine if your car's here and then you come down.
Yeah, you could do some damage.
Yeah, that would be pretty bad.
Yeah.
Binance Smart Chain already does what ETH 2.0 is saying they are going to do. There's a lot of coins that are doing things that ETH should already be doing, to be honest. Yeah. Oh, Pierre Poilievre is going for conservative leadership. He's the one that's amusing, right? He's the guy that's always standing up, calling out Trudeau. Am I right on that?
I think so. You got the glasses?
Yeah, him. I actually find him quite amusing. So it'll be interesting to see who wins that leadership. It's the best smart chain in the world at the moment. Now, here's a little tidbit. I used to work for some very diehard conservatives. So one day I showed up at work and they said, yeah, grab your stuff. Here's your card. I'm like, I looked at the card and it's a conservative card. I'm like, huh? They said, yeah, we just signed you up for the Conservative Party. You're now going to be a scrutineer at the leadership convention for Stephen Harper. I'm like, okay. And so they paid me my salary to be there for the day, looking at ballots to make sure that they all were filled out properly. So I was like,
Nice.
okay.
Yeah. Hey, why not? You're gonna make money off it, sure.
I know. So that was kind of neat. Sorry, I just saw it. I don't know what he just saw. I think we've missed that already. Don't make a Pittsburgh bridge. Pierre for PM. Yeah, he is hilarious. Yeah, he said one time, should we just put a tape player and replay it instead of Trudeau speaking?
I remember when he gave Trudeau crap
Mm.
for eating, because you're not supposed to be eating during the Parliament thing there. And he was
Yeah.
like, Mr. Speaker, blah, blah, blah. And Trudeau's like, I'm sorry, I was hungry. I am eating a chocolate bar. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, and that's kind of promoting eating unhealthy too. Like it'd be maybe a little bit different if he was eating like a carrot.
Well, I think it was a Snickers or something. So he had peanuts. Mars.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's
I
healthy.
guess we didn't want to see a hangry Trudeau.
That's so true.
See who he turns into. Huh? That would be kind of funny. Oh, that's hilarious. I think it was one of my religion jokes. I love when Pierre took Trudeau down on the We Charity corruption. Yeah, I mean, he's the only thing I worry about is you take somebody who, while they're just in an MP role, this guy's really, really funny. But I think if he actually became the leader and he ran for the country, he would be like not as funny. I think he would tone himself down. The things that a lot of the things we love right now, he would have to tone it out. And so we've got a kind of a different flavor of him, which is really interesting.
Well, he's calling things the way they are, right? So if he's put in the hot seat and somebody else did it to him, then again, he probably wouldn't have pulled some of the crap that other people have pulled, right? So
true. I think that's one of the things with O'Toole. I don't think he really ran a good, well, I don't want to say election, but I think just the way he managed the party. There was too many things happening he was just letting things happen. He didn't really have a firm control.
Well, what I don't understand here is like, this is a perfect example, okay? The bad drinking water on different reserves, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why doesn't the prime minister say, okay, that's an issue. Now go fix it. Go do it. Mm-hmm. Go send people, go fix it, get it fixed.
Absolutely.
Why do they have to do this whole walk around, run around of it? Go fix it. Go do it,
Yeah. And that's, I think, one of those things. If it's an absolute, and you can't even say it's a quality of life thing. I mean, water is an essential.
Yeah.
It's an essential thing that people need. So in a case like that, it shouldn't even be, I don't even think you should even need Parliament. If you're the prime minister, you should be able to just say, fix this now,
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Like, why aren't they doing this? Harper never did it.
I know.
Trudeau hasn't done it, like how hard is it to do that? Like, really? Like, you're the prime minister.
It really isn't. And that's, you
want to fix bad ties? There's one right there that's easily fixed. You got the money, go do it. Send some group out there, water experts or whatever they are, get it taken care of.
And here's the beautiful thing. You know what? If Trudeau went and spent, $100 million fixing all the water, there's not going to be, people are not going to be saying to him, oh my God, what? You gave people clean drinking water? How did you spend all that money? That's not going to happen. People are going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
We see where the money went.
Absolutely.
And this is a good thing. Not, sending 150 million over to Ukraine. Like, come on. Mm-hmm. I know we're part of NATO and we have to do donations and stuff like that, but there's needs in our own country that somebody that's in power should be able to just go, you know what, that needs to be fixed. Go do it.
And here's the thing, though. I mean, not to single out Ukraine or anybody like that. If they handle the finances better, they could take care of our own needs and still meet our NATO obligations all at the same time.
Ukraine is mad at Canada right now because we sent them $150 million, but we won't send them firearms or ammunition or, war tools. We sent them the money to go buy it.
You know what? I mean, as a country that stands for peace, we were the country that introduced peacekeepers.
Mhm.
I don't think we should be sending them,
No, we shouldn't.
rockets, missiles, guns. We'll give you aid, we'll give you money. You can determine what you're going to do with it, but we are giving it to you for this reason. We're not giving it to you to buy missiles or to buy rockets. We're not going to stop you, but we just sort of have to sort of stand up for kind of that original Canadian ideal that that the world respects Canada about.
Yeah, we're peacekeepers. We went in and cleaned up the mess that the U.S. made all the time.
That happens a lot.
And that's really what a peacekeeper was. That's what happened. The U.S. would destroy something, and we go in and make it all better.
Well, if you ever remember you remember those commercials that used to have the moments of Canada?
Yeah.
And they did that one where they had the peacekeepers actually showing up and, sort of grabbing the guns and moving them away and sort of teaching people that there's better ways. That's fantastic. That is what Canada stands for. And I would support that 100%.
Notice how you said you didn't want to get into politics, and look at us now.
I know. Holy banana bread. We somehow get dragged in again.
We're 2 banana breads deep into politics now.
We are 2 banana breads to the wind. At least we see him. This leader is a no leader. Okay. And Nate says Pierre's a family man, though, and he really holds the media to account. He also wouldn't be worse than Trudeau. He couldn't be worse than Trudeau. So that's that's probably true. Yes, nobody liked O'Toole.
Well, look at his last name.
There we go.
The Tool.
The Cons have picked good leaders since Harper. Oh, the Cons haven't picked good leaders since Harper.
Yeah, I didn't like Harper myself. There's only one thing. One thing I didn't like is that he was saying that they were never going to legalize cannabis, and he was using the whole child thing as his stance. That's one thing I didn't like about him.
I have no idea, Ken. It's insane that's the problem of government. Oh, Ken, don't forget the 10 million he gave a terrorist who killed an American soldier.
Oh, that's true too. See, that could have went and fixed something else somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. Now, I have an interesting view because I'm a centrist. I would love to see 3 good leaders actually running all 3 parties, 3 good, competent leaders.
Mm-hmm.
I can't recall ever seeing 3 at the same time, but that's the dream I would have. It's like, and then have parties that actually, they don't have to support each other, but they do need to work together. I mean, once the election is over, then it's their responsibility to work together. Sure, you're still going to have the opposition. You're still going to have everybody sort of stopping bad legislation.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I think if people spent more time trying to find solutions that everybody could agree on, it would be better than some of the pointless fighting. Because sometimes people will fight even to stop good legislation just because it's the party line that we can't support this party no matter what. So
all I know is if I was in position, I could probably do a better job than most that's in there right now. And that's because I have nothing to gain and nothing to lose.
And Trudeau,
where they have everything to gain and everything to lose, right? So
yeah,
it's all a game, right? It's like that show House of Cards, right? Or whatever. Yeah, House of Cards. Yeah,
absolutely.
It's exactly like that. Yeah.
And Jason says that Trudeau was the worst PM since Trudeau. I don't know. His
dad was pretty good, wasn't he?
I think so. But here's the thing. Do you remember Stéphane Dion?
Yes, I know that name.
Yeah, he was the Liberal leader. He was prime minister for a bit, and he during this one election, the one that sort of cost him his career, it was actually funny. The Liberals had this red book, and at the time I lived in the Maritimes, and he came onto CTV News, the Atlantic version, ran into a gentleman by the name of I was going to say Stephen Harper, but Murphy. He ran into Murphy, big reporter back there. So Steve Murphy. And Steve Murphy tore Stéphane Dion apart. He was so brutal on Stéphane that Stéphane Dion in the middle started saying, I want a do-over. Can we just start this whole thing over again? And Steve Murphy was in like, what? No, we can't have any do-overs. There's no do-overs in politics.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. The next day you could see the Liberals just completely sink in the polls. This is still live on YouTube. If you ever want to see a politician completely destroyed by a reporter, just look up Steve Murphy, Stefan Dion, and it's just
The rest is history.
the rest really, really is. Absolutely. All right, let's get to our next one here. They have put a committee together. Yeah, Jason, 100%. Trudeau can send them new socks and a box of Snickers. Oh wow. Yeah, it started. Hey Vic, it's always good to see you. I would love to see a populist vote so that maybe we could it would be 30% conservative, 30% liberals, and 40% all the other guys. That'd be interesting. And that's more of a fantasy. Yeah, exactly, Chris. Like I said, I haven't seen it, so I don't hold it's an ideal that I'd love to have, but yeah, it's probably more of a fantasy. Hey, speaking of which, I just got back from the casino, lost $500. Holy banana bread, Daryl. Yeah. Buy crypto with that instead.
Hope that was 500 you could afford to lose.
Yeah. Well, here's the funny thing with casinos. I'm ahead at casinos, but I don't go there to gamble. I went there with a friend once because he was just like, "Oh, do you want to come to the casino?" I'm like, "Oh, not really," but he dragged me there anyway. And so he was playing this one game, and if you get these 3 sevens or something, it gives you a chance. Or if you miss one, it gives you a chance to pull on the lever to have one more little roll of the middle one to see if you can get the 7. And he got in that position, and he was like all hyper because he's like, oh my god, I never win at this. And he turned to me and said, I'll give you half if you pull that 7. I said, okay, and I pulled the 7. So he was like all so happy, and then I was like, as soon as the guy brought all the money over to him, I was like, okay, my half. And then he
wasn't so happy anymore.
He wasn't, but he honored it. He did give me my half.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm ahead at the casino. I don't like I don't even buy lottery tickets. I will occasionally buy a scratch ticket just out of boredom, but I will not sink any money into the lottery. I've got the stock market, and that actually pays me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or even crypto, that pays me too. And there you go, Daryl. Lesson learned, buy crypto next time. If you really want to play the slots, there's free online slot games that don't cost money that you can just play.
Yeah, Slotomania.
Yeah, of course, their odds are probably much better than the actual casino, so you'll actually get more winning too. There he is. Yeah, Stefan Dion was the worst. So Nate may have even seen that interview, but trust me, you want to watch that interview. It was an amazing interview. Daryl. Sorry, bud. Yeah, absolutely. I hate to see the casino. Well, they're a business. That's what they're designed for. But I just hate to see people lose money like that. Dion was weak. Harper was great, smart and sensible. I should know better, but yeah. What I was really bored on a Saturday night, and that's what I chose to spend my money. Absolutely. And that casino in Halifax, it's all flashy. Well, they design casinos to try to make your common sense not come with you.
Mm-hmm.
Everything from the lights, the sounds, and it's even worse in the States. The States will actually give you alcohol. So you want to be really careful. I always say, if you want to just go have fun at a casino, figure out how much money you're willing to throw away for that fun night. If it's like $100, only take that $100. Don't even bring your bank cards with you.
And figure out what machines cost the lowest. That way you can have the longest time there and enjoy it.
Exactly. Very upset when Trudeau blew off National Day for the indigenous people on September 30th and took off to Tofino. Yeah, absolutely. A lot of it was a massive waste of time, absolute waste of money and time. So, yeah, absolutely. Lesson learned. See, I like it when people learn things. Yeah, Vicky pretends to care about his actions, show that he really cares about. And what does Jill have? Aren't there now Bitcoin slot machines? I don't know if
there is online. There is online.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I imagine that. Imagine you can pay for a slot machine with probably anything. I can't see them not taking that. But still, there are lots of online blockchain casinos. Holy banana bread. Stay away from those guys.
I've used them before and I never won. So
I know. And Scott says never play the slots. Terrible odds. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's like there's a reason that saying is the house always wins. They really do. The people who do win, few and far between. And here's the sad truth. Most of these people who take home a half decent little jackpot, they come back looking for more and in the process lose everything that they won. So you never, it's a rare person that can go in, win, and leave and not take that money back.
Yeah, I talked to a security guard the one day at the casino here, and there was a lady that won the jackpot. She won $50K, and he said she spent about $4,000 or $5,000 to get that $50K, and then before she left, she dumped probably $25,000 of that 50 back into the machine before she left.
Yeah, exactly. And here's Eric Mittens. Blackjack is life. You're better off playing blackjack than you are playing slots.
Yeah.
So
I love blackjack.
You know, and if you are, I don't want to say a card counter, but if you can keep track of the cards, you can then have a general idea of your probability to get certain cards.
It's a lot harder now, though, since they split the decks.
Yeah. Well, because they don't want you to do that.
Yeah.
But if you go to a friendly game at a friend's house, there's some memory techniques you could learn that you could just clean your friends out.
And if they hand shuffle instead of using the machine, you can actually see a pattern in it. I've seen it before, we'll just say.
But make sure none of your friends knows card magic, because they can completely twist that game around on you.
And if you like to play blackjack, you can play online at 888.com. They have live dealers. And they have some games it's like 10 cents a hand. If you just really want to play for the sake of playing, 10 cents a hand.
10 cents is not so bad. But also keep in mind, too, there's a learning curve to blackjack. I knew a guy who used to play poker online, and he used to just wait for the new people to come in because he would make so much money off of them because they didn't know what they were doing. And he pretty much knew exactly what they were going to do because all the new people tended to act the same way. So, you know, be aware that you're going to be prey when you come into a casino as a newbie, you know, or the online world. I would rather gamble my money on some small obscure coin than go to a casino. Absolutely. Look at Ken. Ken drops 1,000 on a coin. Sometimes it doesn't work. A lot of times it does because he does his due diligence.
My ups are a lot more than my downs. So
yeah, you can actually even up the odds with a house in blackjack. Yeah, absolutely. If you know what you're doing in blackjack, you have a much better chance than pretty much most of everything else in the casino. If you play optimally. Yeah, exactly. And craps all day.
Craps is fun. I've watched them actually play that at the casino here. That is exciting to watch.
There's a joke there, but it would be a crappy joke, and I'm not going to make it.
I deal with craps all day. Yeah.
Yeah. OLG has a live dealer website now. Okay.
Oh, they do. Nice. Last time I looked on the OLG site, all they had was
yeah, exactly. So guys, we got about 15 minutes left here because Ken's got his own show here at 10 o'clock. So got to give him enough time so that he can, freshen up before the friggin' Oracle has to do his version of a show.
Before I have to get in costume.
Yeah. What are you wearing tonight?
I don't know. I was thinking of messing my hair up a bit. I'll mess my hair up a little bit. Maybe I'll put a pot on my head.
Oh, awesome. Now you have to, because some of the people here are going to be at that show, you have to now show up with a pot on your head just because that would be funny.
I'll see. I'll put a pot on my head and grab one of the big spoons and be like, ning, 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 ning. Sure. You never know what you'll see on my channel. The only way you'll know is if you tune in. You have to tune in. You really
don't. Sometimes you'll just go into his channel and things out of left center will just happen. It's that unpredictable. Ken needs some Oracle robes. I tried to put him in Oracle robes and it didn't work out so well.
Yes, I ended up in a dress with boobs. Sorry, breasts.
Keep in mind that those breasts in that robe were old man breasts. They weren't girl breasts, so.
Yeah, but I still had to grow into them.
Fair enough. And an orb to gaze into. So have people settled down now that BTC is up again? Well, people are slowly, and that's the funny thing. And this is what I always find interesting. Like if you go back to March, when the last big Bitcoin thing happened, it was heading down. It came down to 30. It did wick slightly down to around 28, but everything I had said 30 was the bottom. And I stood firm and I bought a lot of Bitcoin at 30K because, I was 100% sure I was right. And I was. And it, it may have wicked, but it never closed below 30. And it then went back up. And eventually, a couple months later, we had all-time highs again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of just this whole cyclic thing that Bitcoin does. Now, any of you who are in my mailing list, you probably know what I'm talking about because I sent out an awesome exclusive content last Monday. Anybody else who's not on my mailing list, why? It's free and you get some exclusive stuff. So, actually, in the about more info on this, there is a link to that mailing list to join up. Something brand new and exclusives coming out this Monday. It won't be TA this Monday because I'm going to take the TA that I shared with them a week ago and bring it out here now, which is interesting. So on Monday, I already predicted this was going to happen. And, a few people, even I mentioned it to a couple of people, and they're like, no, it's not going to happen. No, it's not going to happen. So it's kind of like it reminded me a lot of, back in March and, March, May, when people are going, oh, it's going down to 20. And I'm like, no, we're at the bottom. And nobody would listen to me. And
well, they were still calling for I heard somebody still calling 9,000 US for Bitcoin.
I know. And I was telling people, and people who did listen to me who bought at 30K, so I was like, 30K is the bottom. I know a few people who did buy, and I know at least one person thanked me afterwards saying, oh, I'm glad I listened to you.
Yeah.
Now, you always need to do your own diligence, of course, but that's what I called then, and I'm kind of calling it now. If I'm wrong, that can happen. Bitcoin is that way, but it has been acting very predictable since about 2020. People just don't like it when we do the big long down part of it, of this giant cycle we're in. And even now we're in a situation where we could possibly, if it were to do a reverse right now, it could make it down to about 33K and then do its long trip up, or it may just go straight up. There's no guarantee either or. But if it falls below 33K, and closes below 33K, let's just say closes below 33K, then it would invalidate this giant pattern that I've been tracking. And that'd be cool because if that happens, it happens. It's probability. Probability can do anything. Then I can put this pattern to rest, look for something new. But right now, this thing is it's a very elegant pattern. You can see all of the different highs. They've all confirmed to this pattern, all of the lows. So it's been kind of neat. So we'll have to see how that turns out. So let's get these questions through. And guys, we've got about 8 minutes left. So if you got questions in, just get those in. How do we find Ken's channel? Just go to, I think he posted an ad for it on the High Ride channel on the Facebook group. He also posted it on the Crypto Night in Canada, or just look up at the Freakin Oracle. There we go. That's why we now finally know why you're wearing that shirt. You've been wearing that shirt to every stream, waiting for this moment.
I keep my mouth shut and I can just advertise with my fingers.
Absolutely. The bottom is in, boys. Absolutely. Eric, perfect. You are 100% right. I just want ETH to hit 10K so I can be rid of my bags at last.
You can just send it to us instead. And then you'd be done with it.
Heck, I'd sell for 8K. Well,
8K would be nice.
Beautiful thing is, I mean, with Bitcoin, if we're in that upward rise that my pattern is predicting, then everything else is going to rise too, which is nice. That's just the way of the world when it comes to crypto for now. We did talk earlier about things eventually sort of starting to behave their own ways, but we're not there yet. So,
well, that's why my bag of Saitama was worth so much back in November, because that was ETH's all-time high. So
Exactly. And ETH, ETH, it does follow Bitcoin, but it's not a straight line. It's kind of a meandering path the way it follows Bitcoin now, which is good. Hopefully, eventually, I want to see these things all start doing their own thing, because it's at the point where a lot of times I don't do TA on a lot of other coins, because I know that whatever pattern I have, if Bitcoin decides to do, decides to poo the bed that day, that pattern is just invalidated instantly. So it's kind of one of those things, because a lot of times Ryan says, "Oh, TA is horrible when it comes to crypto," and it really is on most things. On Bitcoin, it's some of it's reliable. There's a lot of patterns though that I don't really like, and we'll certainly start to get into some of that. We don't have time to do that now, with 4 minutes and 40 seconds left. But there's a lot of different patterns out there that are really interesting. In my videos, I actually, just on Thursday, I dropped the first of my technical analysis video, because I'm going to show you guys how to do it. Now, this technical analysis I'm teaching, it is universal. So you can use it on Bitcoin. You can use it on Tesla stock if you want, because the technical analysis, it is the same. The big difference is there's a larger market of people in the stock market. So things tend to behave a bit more predictably and a little bit more reliably than with crypto, because you're dealing with a smaller amount. But once we get all those retail people into crypto, at that point, you're going to see the volatility come down, and you're going to see the psychology that all of the trading, the selling and buying pressure is based on. You're going to see that become even more reliable as a source of predicting things. So I think that would be exciting. But right now, we're at that point where even small black swan events can have, some serious repercussions. But the nice thing is even with all of these little black swan events, like even with like the illness, I never ever put Bitcoin out of this giant channel that I'm currently tracking. So look out on Monday. I'll probably release this channel onto our Facebook group. So anybody who is not part of Mountain Finance Facebook group, join that up and take a look at that on Monday. And that'll be the one that everybody got to see a week earlier who are on the mailing list.
Oh, the mailing list, everybody.
Ken, you're not on the mailing list.
No, I'm not.
So don't be a banana bread head, Ken. Just get yourself
I will get on there soon.
Tim Dancher's on the mailing list. So if you want to be cool like Tim.
Oh, boy.
I know.
I keep forgetting. You keep saying mailing list, and I keep forgetting.
I know it's easy to forget about it. But yeah, it's definitely cool. What do you got coming up this week in our dying minutes, Ken?
Nothing that I can think of, really. Crypto Night in Canada on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I might drop a quick video during the week again. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Depends what's going on in the market, what information's coming out, what updates are coming out,
Absolutely. And Scott says, I'll sign up tonight. Absolutely. The link is down below for that. So definitely do that. Like that one's absolutely free. I mean, if you want to throw money my way, that's what the Patreon is for. And I know I've only just made it, so it'd be great to get a couple people in there, because then I can start making some exclusive content for you guys. One of the things I want to actually do on Patreon is I want to do some behind the scenes videos. So for example, there might be a video of me making a video from another camera. So that would be kind of cool. On the behind the scenes, you guys want to see the type of things that you'll get to see? I'll show you a quick little something here. So I use a green screen. This is not a real room. I don't have a real chalkboard. So if you want to see what it actually looks like, I will go without green screen for the remainder of this show. So bang, there we are. It's a big green wall.
The big wall of green.
Big wall of green.
Is it like Jello? Is it a Jello?
No, watch. If I turn this over this way, let's go this way. You can sort of see over here, I got it against that wall, and you can see, oh, there's one of my lights. If we come over to this way, you can see there's where it's all clipped together, and there's another light over there. So those two lights, what they do is they light the green screen nice and evenly. And you'll see here, see this little green here? I'm pointing at the screen like you can see my hand, but this little green over here, that's actually a blanket because of the new desk. Let me just, I'm going to remove this. So the new desk here, it reflects something and it gives me this funny little image when I'm doing the green screen. So that's kind of, you know, it's kind of one of those things that you're balancing the light, trying to get things to all work. But there you guys just had a quick peek. Now, obviously,
and this is stuff that you could see if you were on
Patreon
your
member.
Patreon member. See, guys, look at this.
Absolutely. There we go, Ken. You're doing great.
Behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes awesomeness. All right, guys. So we are now at the 1:45. I want to thank you guys all for showing up here tonight. I always appreciate you guys, each and every one of you. You guys are all amazing. Tonight, you guys had a lot of great questions. We went places I didn't think we were going, but that's okay because this chat is for you guys. So you guys are driving it. I'm just conducting, or no, you guys are riding it. I'm driving it, something like that. I should almost clip that because that was confusing. I confused myself on that one. Also, make sure you guys, if you guys want to, let's call it a riskier type show where everybody lets their hair down, then check out Ken's show later tonight. Remember, at the Freakin Oracle. We'll see you guys all again soon. You'll see plenty of videos from me out this week and a bunch of shorts. And we'll be back here again next week, and we'll do this all over again. So everybody, you guys have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you all again very soon. Bye, everybody.